Peter's preparation involves a vision as the gospel gets ready to go to Gentiles. And the vision is of a sheet of unclean animals being placed before Peter, and Peter is told to eat from this menu. Peter says, being an orthodox and faithfully law-abiding Jew, no way. The voice comes back and says, eat. Peter a second time says, no way. Then the third time, the voice says, eat. What God has declared clean is no longer unclean. And by pointing to this symbol of Jew-Gentile separation, the diet that is involved, that comes from the law out of the Old Testament.
In this video, I'll show you how to search for all the food regulations in Old Testament law. In his discussion of Acts 10, Dr. Bach explained the significance of Peter's vision. The dietary restrictions set forth in the Old Testament law symbolize the separation of Jew and Gentile, a wall of separation that God was breaking down. However, if you're not familiar with Old Testament laws concerning food restrictions and rituals, then this passage might not have had the same effect. To get a better understanding of the background of this text, let's use logos to find all of the Old Testament passages dealing with food restrictions. First, open up a new Bible search and make sure your search parameters match what you see on my screen. I'm running a Bible search in all Bible text in all passages in the ESV. Then input the following search command. Then I'll explain how I built the search we're using. I'm searching for the sense of eat in regards to food within the section of text labeled Ritual Law. Now, let me explain how I built this search. To begin, I open the Lexham Glossary of Literary Types from the command bar. Then, in the resource search box, enter the term law. In this section, I discover the texts that deal with food restrictions fall under the literary type labeled law, ritual. Then I open a new search and entered the information into the search box along with the section search type, making sure to enclose this search command with curly brackets. When I ran the search, the results were far too many to manage, so I went to the front of the search command and input the term eat, followed by the search operator within. When I ran the new search, logos found places in ritual law sections where the term eat appears. The first result represents the type of hit I was looking for. Here, in accordance with the laws regarding the peace offering, we learn that Israel is not permitted to eat the blood or the fat of an animal. This is to be a perpetual command throughout the generations. When I opened my preferred Bible to this text, then right-click the term eat, I discovered that the sense of the term was eat in regards to food. By searching for the sense of eat, rather than for the word eat, I can find places where any Hebrew word occurs that carries this meaning. To illustrate this point even better, in the context menu, select the sense of eat in regards to food. Then choose to open the Bible Sense Lexicon. When the Bible Sense Lexicon opens, scroll down and expand the lemma section. Here we find that there are several Hebrew lemmas with this sense. So by searching for the sense, we're going to find all the places where these lemmas occur and carry the meaning of eat. So if you've made it this far, it's time to build our search. Now, I can return to my original search panel, and the search command makes a whole lot more sense. I'm searching for any term that means to eat in regards to food, within the literary type labeled ritual law. Most of the early hits pertain to the priesthood, but as you make your way to Leviticus 11 and following, you'll discover some laws about clean and unclean animals. Scrolling through this list of hits, notice that verses 1 through 8 deal with clean and unclean land animals. Then verses 9 through 12 deal with water animals, and verses 13 through 23 deal with animals that fly, including insects. Skipping down to number 6, we discover food regulations for individuals under a Nazirite vow. Then, in Deuteronomy 14, you'll find another large chunk of text dealing with regulations about clean and unclean animals. When read together, it's still not easy to summarize the complete purpose of these regulations, but one can safely assume that one purpose of these laws was to distinguish Israel from the neighboring nations. When we get to the book of Acts, God breaks down this wall of separation. Now the distinguishing mark of his people is the indwelling of the Holy Spirit. With this background, the story of Peter and Cornelius is so much more powerful.